Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, hi. This is Kevin Duclairon calling the Central Precinct. Is this Hector? Okay. Hector, this is Kevin Duclairon calling from the Northeast Sandy Boulevard. And I just got up about 10-15 minutes ago. Can you hear me? Yeah, I just called about 10. I just woke up about 10-15 minutes ago. I was sitting on the chair here that's next to the window in front of the television, and I woke up with an excruciating pain in my on the right side of my neck. Feels like somebody came into the unit and gave my neck a shot, or they stuck a needle on the right side of my neck and then on the left side of my neck. Earlier, it felt like there was a prowler outside, and I jiggled the blinds to let them know that I know they were out there. I didn't bother to look. I'm not sure who keeps coming in here and who keeps doing that. The other day, I came home and found the window. It was unlatched. The board was up, but the window itself was unlatched. I guess that was their way of letting me know that they had been into the unit here. I'm not sure who keeps coming in here and what it is that they want from this unit. Um, I know that the next door neighbor had once said that he was the trespasser, but I've lived in other apartments where it was not him who was the trespasser, and it was the same response. Now, last time I spoke to you about this was about 2 weeks ago, and you had given me some phone numbers to call. When I thoroughly called the number and spoke to those people, it led to absolutely nothing at all. Um, how do I deal with this? Because I'm sitting here at the desk and I can hear like the spirit of a snake. And when I go looking for it, I don't find it. I don't know if it's next door or if it's in the wall. Um, and when I don't go looking for it, I get hit in the head. So I'm not exactly sure what to do here. Dealing with these people and these animals, I don't see them, but I know that they're there. When I go to sleep, they come, they hit, and then I wake up in pain. Yesterday, I was in excruciating pain when I woke up. I mean, from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, I was pierced and hit all over. So these people are doing everything that they can to force me to move out of the unit. I think I'm dealing with a clan, and I don't know how to respond to the Ku Klux Klan because they're not face to face. They're it's it's not like they come out in masks. They don't. I don't know how to deal with these people. I know I'm still dealing with the Haitian woman Gabriel. They follow me everywhere. If I go to 24 hours, they'll send gay boys to incite me or to entice me to piss me off. And then when I come out on them, it's a death threat. I know that I was told that the Spanish community are the ones that are putting snakes into the apartment, but I've never run into one. I can only hear it. I could feel it, but I don't know where it's at. I'm sort of at a loss here. If an officer came, I wouldn't have anything to show them. I don't have any like big bruises on my body, but all I have is like the pain that stays for about 5 minutes and then it goes away. So I'm not sure, what you as a police department would counsel me in this. Well, the thing is that I'm not running into the animals. When I first moved in here 5 months ago, there were rats running in and out of the unit, and I had caught one of the rats in a mouse trap. But as far as to actually catch a snake, I don't know where they're at. I've never seen them, but I can just feel them. Do you have a phone number for pest control? Well, I recently went to on Monday or Tuesday yesterday. I went to Multnomah Clinic because somebody came in here again. They gave me a shot and they gave me a yeast infection. They gave me a sugar shot in my body so that the yeast infection could kick in. Um, so the yeast infection now is completely around my genital and it hurts, and I'm on clotrimazole cream, and when they're not sexually assaulting me and using it, they're um, they're giving me shots, shot in the neck like they did tonight. It's I'm dealing with Gabriel Franklin and Guy Franklin, and these people have been abusing me since I've lived in this country. They're trying to force me to leave the state of Oregon. They're trying to force me to leave the country, and this is the method that they're using, along with, unfortunately, I think John MacArthur. I don't know where John is. I know he's on an intercom. He hisses once in a while, but this is an ongoing thing. Um, in damned if I do and I damned if I don't. Sometimes I have to turn to the porn site. It's either I deal with the um, with the pornography to keep them from coming in here and snaking me. And so it gets complicated, you know what I mean? With these people, it's either they're of the snake mindset, which is I think satanic, or it's the sexual, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and oftentimes I have to go in that direction to keep them from going any further with the snake community. I When I lived in Tacoma, Washington, they snaked me and put snakes in my apartment on my body, and if it's not the snake, it's an attack, where they're punching me in the face and my nose is bleeding, or they're macing me in the face. To African American women, it's always something violent, or it's either you go violent with them, or it's an animal, it's sexual. Um, Tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the morning, I'm supposed to see a doctor, Doctor Hong, or I think from Doctor Hong from Broadway Dental Care, and I scheduled the appointment like 2 weeks ago, and they asked me to bring in X-rays. X-rays, I have absolutely no idea where I would get X-rays from. So, and the reason why I'm making mention of it was because the Asian community came out, and I'm thinking, okay, something's not right here. There's no reason for the Asian community to come out against me. Um, the last time I had an issue with my teeth, it was because they did something to my teeth. I had gotten fill-ins back in 2021, 2020 or 2021. Well, somebody came in and removed the fill-ins, and cavities set back in, and I had to go back. So I'm having to start all over again. And the day before, last week they came in and they jiggled my tooth back there, one of the tooth that got cavity that had a filling in it, and so they're playing with my teeth again, and they're banging my head, giving me concussion. They hit me every time I go on the bus and I fall asleep. It's like I'm being followed, and I don't know if I'm being followed by the clinic or the Multnomah Clinic, or if I'm being followed by the Franklins or their representatives. And the hits are really, really hard on my head. So it's like whether I'm on the bus and I black out, or I'm here in the apartment and I try to go to sleep. It's always hits and hits and hits and abuse and abuse. And it's like, why am I getting all these hits from these people? It's so I'm not sure what this is. This is really insulting because it's an ongoing thing, and and they won't stop. I don't. It is. They made it more complicated than it needed to be. And I think the root of it, in all honesty, was slavery because I didn't submit. And because I didn't submit in New York, they followed me here in the West Coast. And since I've been here in the West Coast, they tried to use the gay and lesbian community to come out. I didn't submit to that. I dealt with the issue, but I didn't yield to the issue as a way of life. So they went to the next level, which is violence, and then from the violence they went to the snakes and mace and the attacks. And so I'm in here just a few minutes ago, just sitting there, and I don't know what I was watching, but whatever it was, I was given a warning, to stay awake because I had heard the snakes earlier, and I don't know how to put it into this. Anytime I go to the gay porn sites, it's because I'm being threatened with the snake community. It's almost like the devil. It's either you give the devil your cock to deal with, or you deal the devil with, or you take a snake into account. It's that literal, and I can't run back into a church. Even when I go to churches on Sunday morning, it's a hit. They set it up. So any church that I go to, it's a hit. They set it up, and in the background is the police department. And I heard that your Robert Day, the chief of police, he supposedly has something to do with my getting all of these hits. The neighbor next door supposedly, what? Yeah, that's how far it goes. The police department. I'm talking to you, but your chief of police, um, supposedly is behind some of these hits, and I don't know how to put an end to it because I don't know what door he's coming in through. I've called the police so many times to say, hey, I'm being hit here. They're gassing the apartment. When I'm sitting in here and I'm falling asleep, I have to get up and spray my face with a water bottle, and to keep me from falling asleep. And when I can't when I can't breathe any more of the gas that they're pumping in here, I open the window to let out some of that gas air. So the police department, unfortunately, is partly responsible for a lot of these hits. Gabrielle Franklin is an elderly woman, and so she's not by herself. So she's been escorted by MacArthur since the 80s. Okay, they've been dealing with me on the issue, and I thought, according to the Constitution, people living in this country were free to live here. I didn't know there was going to be a submission issue, so I'm being hit. And I'm calling this morning because in case somebody finds me here dead, you know, the government has something to do with this. The police has something to do with this. And I want it on record because I don't understand why I'm targeted, and it's a nightly thing. And that means anywhere and ever. It's not just in here in this unit 115. It's at the library. I could be sitting at the library and the community sends a guy that looks like the guy be the guy Bobby back there. I was sitting at the library 3 days ago. I think it was Monday, and out of nowhere, on the first floor, this guy comes to the table and he starts banging and making all this noise. And when I look, who is it in front of me? It's this guy here. I think Robert. It might be Harcel. I think his name might be. It's not him, but it's a guy that looked like him. And it's like, what the heck, man? What's going on here? I mean, outside of the apartment complex now, this guy's, somebody is sending people with his face to offend me, even at the library. At 24 hours, there seems to be a bunch of guys that has his height and build. And so I'm not exactly sure what the heck am I dealing. I feel like I'm dealing with the chief of police himself, who, it was the same thing at the Doreen's when I was living there. So, and I'm not getting any kind of, you know, this isn't coming to an end. It's just attack Kevin, and it's like, why is Kevin the why is I'm a Bible believing Christian? I'm a preacher. I was at the Master Seminary, but I don't understand why I'm being targeted here. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like they're not coming clean with this. You're the police bureau that's supposed to help us resolve these things. I don't want to end up being a cold case. You know what I'm saying? That's I don't want to end up being a cold case, and it seems like this is where it's going because none of the police officers want to take police reports because I think it's because they're police is partially responsible for some of the things that are happening, the terrorizing, and it's like this is like clan terrorizing, and I can't prove it. This isn't right. Well, it's been going on for the last 13 years here in Portland, and it was the same thing in Seattle for 14 years. And before Seattle, it was down in California. I just recently came back from Sacramento, and all the time I was in Sacramento, I was being hit. These people are abusive and they're clan minded, even though they present themselves as Bible believing Christian, but they're clan minded. They take pride in being the clan and standing as the clan and exclusivity, and they don't want the association with Africans. But then as soon as you leave and you go back to your own country, they're right there at your door. You need to submit. And if you don't submit, it's hits, hits, hits. It's that's just the way they live. That's how they think. It is so demonic. I mean, you they tell you don't look at us, don't desire us, and then they come back and they say, well, you're getting Social Security, you need to come in here and do that for the Social Security, and then after you're done with the Social Security, it's hits, hits, hits. Why? Because you did that to us. Like, come on, man, what kind of game are you people playing here? They make me sick to my stomach, and then they send me to a doctor. I got to take medication, and then I avoid them, but as soon as they see that I've avoided them, they come back out again and demanding that I come. It's a game, it's a routine. This is, these people are on Social Security disability income, and this is their game, alongside the police department. And I don't understand this, and it's in 3 states that they're doing this, and I can't submit to something that I don't even know anything about. You understand? I'm not African American, so I don't know where these people are coming from, and they're not coming out of the closets. They're on the intercom. Even as I'm talking to you, they're listening to me. Okay? They are listening to me. They know everything that I've said to you this morning. Well, that's a terrible thing to do, to put somebody in that situation as a police department. I mean, I've given enough reports, and that something would have been. It's like they're not trying to resolve it. I mean, the gun and the badge is not trying to resolve this, and I think that's a horrible thing that they're doing. You know, I mean, people shouldn't have to be living like this. Okay, well, at least the police bureau, is informed. I don't, I mean, I don't even need a CAD number. The CAD number is not going to do anything. You know, it's not going to. I mean, I would have taken a CAD number if I could take it to the district attorney, but the district attorney, they've escorted me out, off the Multnomah courthouse, because they will not take my side of the story. The court judges will not take my side of the story. Even your city hall attorney, the city attorney, they won't take my side of the story. They tell me to go get a private attorney, and then when I go to the Bill Clinton building, it's no, no, no. They'll take the $400, but they don't provide an attorney for it. Yeah, so this has been going on for 12 years in Portland, from 2012 to now. And in Seattle, Washington, it's the same thing. This is a seminary that's doing this, the Master Seminary, Grace Community Church. Their clan and their elder board. This is the devil's work. The devil's work, and because he's a famous, known pastor, teacher, hermaphrodite, whatever, you know, uh, what was it, Jack MacArthur and those people. It's this is a horrible thing. The last guy, I think, that ended up in this situation ended up committing suicide. I don't want to be part of the suicide group. So yeah. So this doesn't help me anyway. I've taken up enough of your time, but it's just same repeated hits. You know. Anyway, I gotta get going. Yeah. Yeah. That was me on the phone with Hector, um, from the Portland Police Department, and that's usually the response every time I call. We can't help. There's nothing we could do, and it's usually me who does most of the talking, and it's the same repeated report, year after year, decade after decade after decade. The never-ending story. So anyway, that was it. Not sure where it's gonna go from here.